This is the Meshare wireless audio video security camera. Uh, kind of want to show you a little bit what comes with this, which isn't a lot. They provide you a power cord, which I already have attached here, which is about a 10-foot long power cord. Uh, the mounting hardware here, and then these are the instructions, which unfortunately are only really a quick setup guide. There's not a whole lot of information provided uh, with instructions. You do need to download an app for either your Android or Apple phone, and you can also log into the user website from your PC. Uh, I would have liked to see more detailed instructions included with the camera for both the app and the camera uh, because it's really kind of lacking. You kind of have to figure out the app for yourself or kind of wade through the facts on the website to try to figure out the app and the camera if you have issues. Basically, to get things started, you have to create a Meshare account, uh, and you basically set up as powering on the camera, which is basically plugging it in, which I've already done here. You can see the little blue light. It comes on green and then starts flashing blue, showing it's ready to pair. And then you put in the app there's a QR code that you hold in front of this screen here or in front of the camera here to get it to pair. The problem I initially had, this is my second Meshare camera. The first one took me multiple attempts, over an hour of trying to get this camera to pair with my phone, and then even then the app wouldn't let me finish the setup, and I had to start over and try to reconnect again. Meshare indicated the cam might have been defective and sent me a replacement to try. I'm not really sure if it was defective or whether the camera firmware and the app needs some further work and upgrades. But because, and I'll get into this a little bit with the second camera, you know, pairing was a bit better, but still not quite easy. There was an app update before I got the second camera, so that may have helped it a little bit. Pairing was not as difficult, but still not as easy as it should be. It would pair with my phone and then disappear off the app list, and then I would have to repair again, and the app wouldn't let me finish setup. I finally rebooted my phone, tried again before I managed to get the second camera to pair up. So still some issues with pairing, and a little bit more difficult than it should be. The first thing I noticed really about these cameras is when they're powered up, how warm the back of this gets. There's a reset button down here. I'll try to show you that on the camera here. There's a reset button right there. But how warm the back of this thing gets. It gets surprisingly warm for a little camera. Why it gets that hot, I really don't know. I mean, I'm not really sure why that is. Maybe it has to do with something the way it's engineered. I have no idea. I'm not an expert in that. But, it still gets both cameras got really warm. Once I got both cameras working, the video is clear and pretty good quality. The issues I had with both cameras is the sound quality. I could barely hear the person on my phone through the camera, and there was a lot of background noise coming from the camera. And when I pressed the talk to the person from my phone to the camera itself, the speaker volume was so low that you could not really hear it. And I couldn't find a way to adjust the sound in the app, and there's no volume buttons on the camera itself either. So, I'm not really sure if this is an app issue, a hardware issue, or whatever, because there's no instructions detailing about volume control in there, and I'm not sure there really is volume control. But in reality, I think the camera itself needs some kind of built-in volume buttons on this, and maybe a little bit better speaker, if that's what its intended use is, to be a communication device in addition to a security device. I also logged into the website, the camera, to view the live streaming from the camera. Video quality was still good. The sound was a little bit better through my computer, but that's mainly because I could turn up the volume on my computer speakers. The background noise was still there. I'll include some of that, some video of the camera recording with the background noise at the end of this review. The camera has the ability to store the video on a micro slot, which is here on the side here, but it's not included. It also sends you motion alerts as well, and you can manually record this as well. I initially found that the first camera that I sent back that we thought was defective was more reliable at detecting motion, but after a firmware update from 5.2022 to 5.2023, this camera seemed to be a little bit more reliable at that. I tested them with both firmwares, and really I think another issue is the app and the website should both be better at alerting you to a firmware update, as I had no idea there was even one. I found it by accident, messing around with the app, and found it. You basically go to the live view on the app, device settings icon, hit device version, and it shows you if there's an update. And then it kind of automatically updates. It doesn't really tell you that it's doing it. It doesn't really tell you that it's successful or not. Again, some things that need to be improved in the app. The volume on the phone end was slightly improved with this update, but still not very good. It still had background noise. The speaker volume on the camera was still the same and still bad. This has lots of promise and good video quality, and unfortunately for this, it has some bugs either in the firmware of the app, some lacking features in both. The difficulty in pairing, the app crashing, the difficulty in finishing the setup, the low volume of the camera speaker, the low and noisy volume on the phone end. It almost seems like this device and the app is a little bit unfinished. And the app itself does need some improvements. And hopefully, Meshare will make some improvements in this and fix the issues with this. But for now, I can't rate this any higher than 3 stars.